You see there's no bearding on any of these hives, and the reason is because they're on screen bottom boards. About 2008, I switched to screen bottom boards because I had read that they would help with varroa mite. Well, nothing seems to help with varroa mite but treating them. I'm on small cell and all that. But anyway, it's almost evening now, so you shouldn't still see bearding because it's not that hot. But you can see here, this hive I had to take the entire entrance reducer out of because it was bearding pretty severely. You see, there's the entrance reducer off to the side. Now they're doing better. I'm getting stung. All right, gotta quit. Ouch. Okay, don't walk in front of hives. That's all I can tell you. Anyhow, the screen bottom boards, in my opinion, although they don't help with varroa, they help in many ways. The first one, and even Michael Bush will agree with this, is when you move hives. When I lived south, near South Texas, if you move a hive, they often died if you didn't put screen over the top of them and things like that, because it gets extremely hot there in the summer. And when bees get closed up to be moved, they can't fan and they go into a different mode where they overheat. It's just unnatural for a hive to be closed off at any time. Screen bottom boards stop that, and you can move them safely. Also, they're lighter quite a bit when they're on a screen bottom board, but the main reason is because of an old book I read from the 1800s when they did an experiment for honey production. They found that hives on screens, instead of solids, had the ability to evaporate the moisture from the nectar much more rapidly than on a solid board, and it increased honey production a lot. So I do believe that when there's a large portion of the bees wasting time bearding and staying outside the hive idle because they don't want to overheat it and destroy the brood, the 93-degree brood temperature inside, I believe that they can go work honey, and that's what they're doing. Also, I can reduce the entrances on screen bottom boards, and that keeps less guard bees employed, and more bees can be employed for other duties. And the hive will be significantly calmer with a entrance reducer on because there's less guard bees. Because as you can see, I'm really being attacked a lot by these bees because that entrance reducer is open. And of course it's because I just disturbed them about 30 minutes ago opening it. But I like screen bottom boards because I think they increase honey production. They make it easy to move your bees without any trouble. When I move my bees, I just stuff some foam inside the entrance and ratchet strap them down and move them. And that works fine. And if you're moving bees during the daytime, which you shouldn't do because you lose foragers, don't worry, the extra foragers will go into the very next hive just fine. If you push the hive close enough, they'll go right in there. They won't be homeless. But if you're going to move all your hives, then you should wait until after dark. But yeah, I like screen bottom boards for honey production, and because they don't waste time bearding. I don't like to see my bees bearding like that, because in my opinion, the queen sometimes goes out there bearding as well. And I've seen that. I've seen the queen out there before. I don't think that's connected, but I have seen bees go under the hives and make a whole new colony, which is another thing. Good thing I brought that up. Some people are saying that because of a screen bottom board, they can't maintain the proper hive temperature inside. Well, yes, that is definitely true if it's open in the wintertime. But in the summertime, they don't need to be closed up at all. Honeybees do really well outdoors in the summertime when it's warm. It's easier for them to fan the nectar, build comb, and they can maintain the temperature just fine. I've seen some really nice big combs that are just underneath bridges. As long as they don't get rained on and they get shaded from the sunlight, they do very well outdoors. They only need the indoors during the winter. And some people are saying like they cool the hive with mist and like a water cooler does. That doesn't work in humid environments such as the beehive. Water coolers are used in the western United States, but not the eastern United States, because they just won't work in humidity. So that's not true. They can't cool the hive any better when it's closed. They do it better when it's open. As you can see by the bearding that's going on. And no, that hive is not overcrowded, because I checkerboarded that hive because I put a honey super on it. And I'm finally over the swarming. Swarming is a seasonal thing. All the bees now are no longer swarming. I've checked them all for swarm cells. Nothing's going on. Everyone's queen right. So the screen bottom boards are an advantage to me, but I also believe in moving the mite trays in and out. I do believe that if you leave your mite trays in all summer long with the screen bottom board, you'd be better off with a screen bottom board, because they can't clean that mite tray. It's below the screen, and that will start collecting detritus, and then hive beetles and wax moths can live in that detritus. It won't be very much, like 2 or 3 hive beetles might be under there you can smash, but I leave my mite trays in during the winter, and I take them out when it gets warm enough for them to be able to keep the brood warm. When the temperatures get up to 60 in the daytime, then I take my mite trays out. When they stay 60 and don't get below that. And the entrance reducers, I believe that I like to keep them on as much as possible, because all the honeybee hives that I've ever found in the woods, they like smaller openings. And I just believe that it's better for them to feel less danger that way. They don't have so much to protect. And they do just fine going in and out a smaller hole, just fine. They don't need a big old broken opening in the tree. And that's about all I got to say about screen bottom boards. I like them. Yep. They're very easy to make if you're going to make them. But the one problem with screen bottom boards is you definitely have to put the mite tray in if you're using oxalic acid vapor or thymol vapor or formic acid vapor or any of these organic acid vapors, of course. And with a screen bottom board and mite tray in and a reduced entrance, I don't even worry about blocking the entrance when I use mine, and I'm doing just fine with mites. If I wasn't, you wouldn't see all these. And no, I didn't get any losses over the winter because I fed my bees. I truly believe that the reason for the big losses in the United States this year, number one, they're going to get paid for it. Number two, they didn't feed their bees. They took honey. And we had some bad weather, a lot of drought, a lot of heat, and then a lot of cold down south. Florida even got very cold, where a lot of people winter their bees. And I think that is going to cause a lot of losses. The reason for that, they took honey when they shouldn't have. The bees didn't have enough pollen to build good brood. They needed natural pollen to build enough brood for the winter. They didn't get that because the weather was bad. But that's just my opinion. And that's what I think. I don't really have anything else to add to this. So that's it. Anyway, the bees are making a beautiful roaring sound because they're evaporating nectar today. The privet, the trumpet creeper vines, the honeysuckle are in bloom now, and they are providing a lot of nectar. And the dandelions and the burr clover are providing a lot of nectar. This is burr clover. That little yellow clover right there, that's burr clover. They make a lot of nectar from that. I know this because I lived in an area where there was only burr clover, and I could watch it. Yep. That's it. That's all I got to tell you. Okay.